Afreximbank TV.
Energy was highlighted as one of the biggest areas for collaboration between Africa and the Caribbean, and we've heard over the last 3 days of discussions. With me in studio is Mr. Adewale Tinubu. He's the CEO of Oando Plc, one Africa's leading energy solutions companies. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Just tell me a little bit about how you see, there's lots of talk about collaboration, between the Africa and Caribbean regions, but tell me a little bit about what you see as the, specifically how the energy sector can play a role in the Global Africa Initiative, first and foremost.
First of all, Africa is a substantial host of major energy resources. There's at least 10% of the global reserves are in Africa. Nigeria is a large producer, producing over close to 2 million barrels of oil and gas equivalents per annum. Angola, producing over 1.5 or close to 1.5 of oil and gas equivalent. Algeria, Mozambique, Gabon, Congo. And there's been a lot of expertise that has been created, and one of the key areas has been indigenous participation. We've seen the localization of skills which were hitherto in the hands of only foreign investors. And over the last 30 years, the Nigerian government has created an indigenization policy to ensure that locals can participate in the oil industry. It started with the service industry and now the producing industry, to the point where local companies now produce close to 30% of the oil and gas in Nigeria, heading to 50%. Now, it's critical because we can transfer our learnings and our skills, to CARICOM, where there are new discoveries in Guyana, in Suriname, and also help revitalize the oil sector in Trinidad. And we're excited at the opportunities which we have. We've been able to create substantial balance sheets with the help of institutions like the African Export-Import Bank, primarily, who have spearheaded a drive towards supporting indigenous participation. We've been able to raise, in the last 10 years, over $2 billion of investment which we've put into the sector as a company. And I'd say that the sector has received from indigenous companies over $10 billion in the last 10 years. And that's generated substantial returns for those companies, and those companies are now looking for other areas. Now, we feel that the time has come to partner with indigenous, soon-to-be champions as well, in CARICOM, towards supporting them first in the service industry, to be able to provide oil services and gas services, and then thereafter to become producers. Similarly, the CARICOM area has over 300 days of sunshine and has very good wind. So it's an excellent location to also participate in renewable energy. We know that oil will fade away over time, but gas is an important transition fuel which would be utilized, and you need gas to be able to create the kind of base load you need for industrialization, which we know that CARICOM will now become a major industrial center over the years to feed the North American market. It's got good security, good rule of law, good infrastructure, and so it's a natural place to be able to, and it's got labor. It's a natural place to be able to have industries set up that will feed North America and South America. And so we are excited by the opportunities, and we're very happy that we have a financial institution, Afrexim, to support that drive towards being able to expand the African Free Trade Zone area and link that into CARICOM.
And what have your interactions been like? I know you were in Guyana last year. I imagine that you were also in Barbados for the first active. What have those interactions been like, and are there any tangible projects that you can point to that these conversations have kind of sparked?
For definite. For example, in Trinidad, we're looking at, we're part of the last bid round towards being able to acquire the refinery, revitalize the refinery. We're looking at providing a terminal in operation based out of Trinidad to be able to feed petroleum products into the region. we're looking at taking crude from Guyana and Suriname to Nigeria for the refinery there, okay? Because the crude mix is best, because at the end of the day, you get the maximum returns by blending a diet of crude. We're looking at doing pre-export financing like we've successfully done in Nigeria. We've been able to provide the government with several billions of dollars in advance by doing crude oil forward purchases and resource forward purchases using the tax and royalty oil due to governments, which helps stimulate growth because the governments have a lump sum in advance to be able to invest in critical infrastructure. Because what happens with resources is that when there's a sudden influx of resources into a nation, you tend to have the infrastructure is slow to catch up. And you end up with inflation as well too. And if you don't match your infrastructure increase with the sudden increase or influx of capital that comes in as a result of your natural resources being exploited, then there's a mismatch in the economy. And so we see that as also another opportunity. And definitely participating in Suriname and in Guyana in the bid rounds. We're already actively working towards securing acreage as well to do what we do.
Well, congratulations. I hope those go successful for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This has been Afreximbank TV. I'm Janelle Persad. Thank you so much for watching.